I'm John Candu. I'm a bit of an amateur musician and all-round nutcase, but really thoroughly enjoying it.
I'm Hebe.
I think signage, really. I've been out looking for live music in bars in Carlisle quite a few times and rarely found it. Basically because but I don't read newspapers and things, so I would say billboards and posters would be a good thing to do. Musicians need to be inspired early on, and they need to feel worth. They need to feel their worth, and they need to feel that. My daughter is now 24 and she's a producer in London. When she was 13 years old, she came to me and said, "Dad, it's the summer holidays and there's nobody doing anything. I want something, what's going on?" And I said, "Well, if you want to make something happen, you have to make it happen." And she did. And she brought together all of the bands in all of the schools between Stranraer and Dumfries, and she put a day's music on for all of them, slap bang in the middle of summer holidays, and all of the entertainment was provided by the kids out of the schools, and all of the audience was the people from those schools. People just need to be enthused, and unfortunately, I don't know, the way that we educate doesn't seem to do that to young people these days. Music's my life. I think without music we're all lost. It's an expression like beauty.
I think obviously there's a lot of unsigned bands in and around Carlisle and Cumbria, and I think it's important that they play at local venues to get a bit of momentum and to get a bit of support from local media and press. I think it could do a bit more support. I mean, like obviously in the Brickyard, you really do struggle, and there's a few like obviously pubs, but they are intimidating to a lot of people which are maybe under the age of 18 that do want to play. I think like music workshops would be really interesting, kind of get people involved, people that might play but they're not got the confidence to play amongst other people. A lot of people in the same boat, they can all work together.
I think I'm Phil Exile, and I've been in a punk band for 27 or 28 years. The reason I started doing it because when I left school there was no opportunities to get anything out of life that was like anything like what I get out of life with what I do in this band. So all corporate governments and that don't provide enough for kids, even though I'm an adult now, a fully grown man. It's just punk rock all the way for me now, and that's me till I'm dead, really. There's a future in there somewhere. Nothing. It's music in general that means stuff to me. It's like, of course there is like a local music collective. State Control are a part of it. They're the future, I think, but slowly that slips out your hands like it did with me, and you become part of the history of it. But that's what I think of local music, is being part of it to start with as a future, and then becoming mainstream part of it as a history. No. We're outside a venue now called the Brickyard, which I've had the pleasure of playing, I can't even count how many times, with bands like The Damned, Stiff Little Fingers, stuff like that. And there is not enough other venues in town, but at the end of the day, do you really want to play in your own backyard when there's a great big vista out there where you should be going? You know, you've got like Manchester, Liverpool, there's London, you've got all kinds of places out there. I like to come here from here, but I don't like to play here that much. I like playing in here, but there's no fucker in, you know what I mean?
Right, my name's Dave Bell, and I put punk gigs on in Carlisle. There is opportunities. There's a few venues that will put bands on. Possibly could be one or two more. But I think more and more pubs will start putting bands on because they see it as a way of getting people in. The venues don't come looking for you. I think people have got to go looking for the venues and make a scene themselves, basically. You've got to get, obviously to have a scene, you've got to have supporters, and that sometimes that's slightly disappointing that people don't turn out especially support local bands most people are friends with. You'd think they would turn out a bit more, and to me that sometimes doesn't happen. So I think we compare favourably. The bands that I see are as good as any others that I've seen from the other areas of the country. The only thing is we're out on a bit of a limb, so I think it's harder. The bands have got to try a bit harder to push themselves. And I think that's the main thing is the bands are their own best adverts. I mean, some of the more established local punk bands have really taken off this last year, 18 months. No Thrills, the Exiles, to name but two. And I think that's the way they've been at it a long time. It's good to see they're getting a bit of recognition at last, and I think that's the main thing, to make sure what you are playing is what people want to hear.
I'm Speedy, drummer for the Overdose. Started a band because I love rock and roll. Simple, punk rock.
Alright, I'm Jason. How I got started was basically watching him playing. He turned up, helped carry the gear to start with, and then joined the band.
And I'm Mike, and it's that long ago I can't remember why I started playing. About 1976. It should mean a lot more than it does, but there isn't a lot of it. You go down Morecambe, that area, local band plays, 60, 70 people turn up. You come here, Penrith's even worse.
Yeah, I don't think things get advertised as much here. Do you know what I mean? You've got the Brickyard, but you hardly ever know something's on the Brickyard until that actual day.
Yeah,
so you can't plan.
Without Dave Bell,
yeah,
there wouldn't be outcoming to Carlisle.
Wouldn't be anything, yeah.
For the punk scene, that's Dave Bell. There'd be nothing without him.
Mm.
You know, you get some great bands, but you know, is there that bigger scene? You know, Brickyard's good. Brickyard will put people on. I'd say Brickyard. Club Rock, you know, that's maybe
Club Rock's just starting now, isn't it?
Getting
Putting
together.
the punk bands on.
Yeah.
Club Rock and Dave Bell get something sorted. Or a Dave Bell night at
And we're playing
Brickyard
there in September with the Fits. Club Rock.
Move. No, just play any gigs you can. We've played Edinburgh more times than played Penrith or Carlisle. No, played Gateshead more times. Lancaster more times.
You can't just sit practicing all the time. Get out there and do something. Best way of practicing.
Oh, there's the wisdom.
Yeah, my name's Stephen Dunham. I'm Arts Officer for Carlisle City Council. God, and it's an ever-evolving role, really, which is quite exciting.
How did you start up the music festival in Carlisle, and how do you think it's progressing?
Carlisle Music City came from, we had the Radio 1 big weekend, came to the city, and what it left was loads of people thinking, why can't we do that? You know, why can't we have something so fantastic? Yeah. And it's like anything, you've just got to start something. So what I did was come back and just pinned in like a week the year later and thought, well, let's start our own thing, because you can't immediately like get Lady Gaga and the Foo Fighters, but what you can do is really look to your homegrown talent. You know, I mean, to be honest, we would like to have it going out throughout the whole year, really, but of course, you know, to run it a lot would be quite expensive, but we'd like to think in the future we could maybe get like commercial sponsorship. You know, I mean, the City and County Council have been supporting it from the start, but obviously that isn't something that can go on forever, really.
Yeah. How do you feel Cumbria compares to other cities in the UK with regard to the development of music, culture and the arts?
It's an interesting one because especially Carlisle in the past has never been very good at standing up and sort of shouting about it, you know, and everybody feels you have to go somewhere else to do what you want to do or to see what you want to see, and that's exactly what we're trying to brook the trend of, to stop that happening. I would say we stand up as good as anywhere, actually. You know, what we do lack is we need more venues, we need more opportunities so you can sort of grow a scene. you know, and you can grow a bit of an industry. The thing I'm working on most at the moment is the old fire station, which in spring 2015 will be a new venue for the city, and it's really exciting because you're looking at like 350 capacity. You know, that's a decent size. It sits nicely between the Brickyard and the Sands. You know, we didn't have like a middle sort of sized venue, more academy sized. You know, and really what we want to test the water is, can we justify having like an academy sort of venue? And I think, you know, the jury's still out, but there's certainly the talent there. But we need more people to want to go to gigs, because people have got used to going to Newcastle or Glasgow or Manchester. You know, there used to be a decent scene here in sort of the late 80s where people would go to the front page, whoever was on, and you need that sort of attitude.
Even the 70s as well, because they had Black Sabbath and that playing.
Oh, yeah. We used to get all sorts of people. I mean, in the 60s, I mean, the Beatles came twice and stuff like that. And then, but what's happened is we've stopped being a destination and it's sort of a pass-through place. And it's something we really need to sort of change and make Carlisle its own destination. I think that the main thing of the old fire station is to be as many things as it possibly can, and I think that's a good thing. You know, I like the idea you've got this space and it can be whatever it wants. And on a musical setting, we'd have from, you know, folk to like thrash metal, whatever we could. And like back to Music City, in the first year we had like from classical to punk, you know, we had like a tea dance. Of all things, you know, and we've had all sorts. We've had jazz, we even had opera this year, and it'd be lovely to do that, and it'd be lovely to mash it all up as well, you know, and mix the sort of genres. So we were talking to the Arts Council about how we can do funding, and what they didn't want was us putting in for a great big wad of money, but what we're looking to do is work with groups or work with people to maybe then get like quite a number of sort of small grants to help people work with us. We also hope, as things gain momentum, that commercially and local sort of business and industry might get on board, because of course it's all about promoting Carlisle, and anything that keeps bringing people in, it's got to be a proper industry, you know. So the first goal would be that we can run a venue and prove that we can. Then we can start to look at, because people keep talking about Carlisle needs a theatre. Well, can we justify it? You know, I think once again this is a good way of testing that out. Test out audiences, what are people's appetite? It'd be lovely to have a really big theatre in Carlisle, you know, but would people go? You know, so the ambition will just keep getting bigger as we go, you know, make it really good locally to begin with, then nationally, and then internationally. Why not? You know, why not?
Okay, I would just like to say that very few people know this, but just as a little bit of insight, we are the willing, led by the knowing, doing the impossible for the ungrateful. And we've now done so much with so little for so long that we're now qualified to do anything with nothing for everyone. So get on with it. It's your job to make this world into the place you want it to be, so do it.